Welcome to the Fun Factory. I know a lot of you recognize me from the Oldies Dance Party. It is Lady Sadie, but because I moved into the realm of early childhood education on Patreon, I chose to start out with early childhood education on my YouTube page because I'm having difficulty still getting my Patreon page up and running the way that it should be. So I'm doing my introductory and demo videos here for Patreon, and then whenever it can be worked out, get it switched over to my Patreon platform, and we'll go from there. Strictly early childhood education for the little guys, from infancy all the way up to and including 6 years. But as we begin, this is kind of quiet. I do have the music on in the background, but it's a song by John Denver that I'd like to share with you. And the reason being, when I was employed at a particular child care center, they did graduation ceremonies for their pre-K class, the ones who were going to kindergarten. And actually, it was my class. So they asked if I would, they had all of the teachers do it, put together something for the children, well, actually for their parents. And I chose this simply because I know when young children are asked to get up and speak, they get nervous and they freeze. Adults do it as well. So I thought to myself, what is it that they can learn in like a 2-week period that would really work? And I chose the song Sunshine on My Shoulder by John Denver. And we listened to it quite a bit. And I showed them sign language. And we did it in sign language. I couldn't find my sign language books, so I didn't know if a lot of the words, they were truly the words in sign language, but we did the best that we could, and it turned out okay. So I'm going to play a little bit of Sunshine on My Shoulder, and just to give you a little glimpse of what we did. It was such fun, and the parents, they just loved it. Got the music on right here. Just have to hit the right number. 3, 4. Here we go. Now this is when we were sitting, and in a certain portion, I did my hands like this, and they all stood. They all had on their gowns and their caps. Sunshine
on my shoulders makes me happy.
And then we have a big smile on our face. This is the sunshine.
Sunshine
eyes.
In my eyes can make me cry.
And we brought our hands down like this. Hands are back down. Sunshine again.
Sunshine.
This was the water.
On the water looks so lovely.
And we always smiled. And we're back to sunshine.
Sunshine almost always makes me high.
And we would do that for high. Now, I explained to the children that in sign language, when people do this, that's applause. Simply because they don't clap this way. This is applause. And I was struggled with the fact that should I use this, it makes me high. And I thought to myself, it's kids, okay? And the intent was just the fact that, you see, and having fun. So at any rate, that's what we did. I tell you, music brings back memories for me in so many ways. But I chose to do that with them, and it was a success. What you see me doing now is cutting off. I just got these because I had a whole set. I had quite a few sets over the years of the animals. Animals that we find who live in the jungle. I'm watching something on TV now called Serengeti. Learning so much about the elephants and the lions and the tigers. Well, not the bears. But it's very interesting, and I'm looking at how I can work that into activities for my guys to introduce to you that you can do with your children. And, of course, I have the books as a follow-up. So what I wanted to do now was just go over what we're going to be doing as soon as my Patreon platform is up and running. And it's going to be, when I said at the preschool level, I meant from infancy all the way up to age 6. So there's going to be 3 to 4 different groups. I'm going to have my infants. And of course, whatever I'm teaching, working with my infants, it's not going to be for 2-year-olds or 3-year-olds or 4 or 5-year-olds. The toddlers are going to have their own program. I'm going to have the program for the preschoolers, 3, 4s, and 5s, and even 6-year-olds, what they call a pre-K program. I have a lot of work to do, but it's okay. It's all good. I've done it before. I've not done it without actual live children, but here are some of my students that I'll be introducing you to. And of course, we know that they are dolls. But like I said on my last video, you're going to have to use your imagination and imagine that they are students in my class. Chef Combo, I checked with him. Well, rather, he checked with me. He will be in on Wednesday, and today is Sunday. So on Wednesday, I'll definitely do another class, and Chef Combo will be present, and we're going to do our ever popular rice dish. Okay. Now, what I want to suggest, well, I'm not suggest, but say to all the parents out there, teachers, older siblings, like I said, whomever is engaged with very young children, get your pen and paper. Or you can put it in your phone. I don't think you need to put everything in your phone, but that's just me. Pen and paper, because you're going to need a list of materials that you're going to have to work with. And the first thing is you might need 3x5 cards, or if you go into the dollar store and you see these packets, a lot of people are buying these now, especially teachers for their classroom, and you put your children's name on it. I don't know if you can see the names I have here, but this is Aaliyah. And Aaliyah can be spelled any number of ways. Believe me, I know. And that name card could go if you eat dinner together, lunch, breakfast, as a family. Put your child's name card there. They're never too early to put your name card where you sit. They begin to recognize the letters in their name. I don't teach the alphabet A, B, C, D. I don't teach it that way. I start out with something that they can recognize, something they own, which is their name. They own it. And I found that children are more apt to pick up letters in the alphabet simply because of their name. All right? Other thing is math. I gave a demonstration about how we're going to be doing math. These are they love these. These are the dice we're going to be using. So if they get a chance to throw the dice and it comes up 4, I would have, let's say, these containers around. He keeps saying, and they would have to pick out 4. Let's say somebody else, I'm not going to say shoot. No, it's not like that. Somebody else tosses the dice and they get 5. Okay? Then we would have another container and they'd have to pick out 5. And I might decide, I said, well, wait a minute. You had 4 and you have 5. Which one has more? We're just talking right then and there because maybe we haven't really gotten into more or less. But, conversation is there. And if they say, I don't know, fine. Move on. Move on. Like I said, we don't want it to become something that you drill. Sometimes you're just doing things for fun. I got these packets of lunch bags. Just regular paper bags. You can do puppets with them. Get yourself some glue. And when you begin to cut up construction paper for shapes, I've had these a while, but it doesn't matter. And you've got triangles, and you've got rectangles, and you've got squares, and you've got circles. Whatever's left over, you can put them in a bag, put them in a container, doesn't matter. Give it to your children. And remember, give it to them plain. Don't you do a puppet, and then they copy what you've done. Let them put it wherever they want. And you're like, oh my goodness, look what you did. Okay. Don't ask them what it is. Okay? Don't ask them what it is. So, here's another way we're going to be accounting when we get to money. And remember, I said we're going to have 3 to 4 different groups. Infancy is from 0 to 12 months. Then we're going to have the young toddlers and older toddlers combined. I will 1 and 2s. Reason being, I found that 1-year-olds learn at a faster rate when they're combined with 2-year-olds. Now, that was done in one place where I worked in the classroom, and it worked well. It worked well because we established boundaries at first. And there are people who don't believe you can establish boundaries with children that are that young. Yes, you can. Actually, that's the best time, I feel, because then the expectation is, and they know what they can do and what they can't do. They're going to try it, to do things that they know they shouldn't. But it's okay. They're little guys, all right. Anyway, um, if you use your card, that's fine. But sometimes if you're going to be using cash, try and collect change. Put it in a container. So when I think at 3, 4, and 5-year-old level, when we're talking about money, quarters, nickels, dimes, pennies, and how much it is, how can you have one nickel? This is just one, but we know it's equal to 5 pennies. Okay, if we have 1 quarter, we know it's equal to 2 dimes and a nickel, or 2 dimes and 5 pennies. What I'm saying is, you can keep this around, keep a lid on it, and I don't know. Maybe you're sitting down doing your checkbook or something, doing math, and you can bring this out. The thing of it is, learning doesn't stop at 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 4 o'clock whenever school lets out. Learning is happening even while we sleep. Okay? So, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And the books. Oh gosh, the books. My favorite part is the books. Oh, the other reason I had this flashlight here is because the 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and 5-year-olds parents, not this size, you're going to be requested to get flashlights for them. Okay, when we do an activity specifically, we use the flashlights. We turn all the lights out, and then we put the flashlight, let it shine up on the ceiling. And depending on what the activity is, what we've done, we see the result using the flashlight up on the ceiling. And of course, we either follow it up or begin it with a book. And to me, the most important and crucial part is the storytelling. 3 times. Now, the final thing I'd like to say is on Patreon, we can post twice a month. So I'm thinking, okay, only twice a month, because I'm thinking I'm going to post every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That program doesn't work that way. So if I have to post twice a month, what I've chosen to do is at the beginning of every month, for the first 2 weeks, I'm going to post what will be there for infants, not infants and toddlers, infants. Then I'll post what we're going to be working on for the toddlers. Remember, I said the 1 and 2-year-olds combined. Then for preschoolers, 3s, 4, and 5, I'm going to post the program for them. And then I'll call the pre-K program, I'll post the program for them. And I'm going to do that, and it's going to be for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So I'm going to do it maybe in, I'm not sure, 10 or 15 minute increments for each group. And it's going to encompass the whole 2 weeks. So you can go, to Patreon, the Fun Factory, and look at the lesson that we've done on Monday, what we've begun with. And then what was done for Tuesday, what was done for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Even though I may be doing it all in one day for 1 week, still, it's going to be different segments. I hope you can understand that. I'm trying to figure it out myself. And then the second week, it's going to be a continuation of whatever it is that we're studying. Say, for instance, it's the month of August, and we're studying insects. Ta-da! We're studying insects. The books that we're going to read, songs we're going to sing, the activities we're going to do are going to be centered around insects as well as other things. Music is going to always be infused into whatever it is we're learning. And, gosh, I've got musical instruments, 2 containers of them. And so depending on what it is, we'll be using our musical instruments. Especially for not the toddlers, no, but especially for the preschoolers. I'm going to show them how to use them. And I say we, because that's you and me together. There's bells. Bells are part of musical instruments. Drums. drums, just so much. And it sounds like it's a lot, but our children deserve a lot. They need a lot because of the last 15, 16, 17 months that they've lost with schools being shut down and preschool programs closing and not reopening. Meanwhile, their brain is still growing. You know, it didn't go on pause. So what we have to do is meet them where they are. And wherever they are, we're going to start there and move forward. Okay? So it's going to be fun. It's going to be jam packed, but it's going to be fun. And it's going to be on Patreon. Patreon platform. Like I said, as soon as I can get everything lined up. And basically, it's a technical problem. It's technical, but I've got my brother-in-law and my nephews trying to help me out. We're working on it because school starts soon, but I'm not going to wait until school starts. For me, school starts like yesterday. Okay, school begins right now, and as soon as, and I hope it's sooner than later, we can get this started. And what you need to do is tune into my Oldies dance party with Lady Sadie, and I'll tell you how you can tune in to my Patreon, your Patreon platform, so that we can give our children what they need. And just what they need people that care about them. They need people that are going to speak to them with dignity and respect so that learning can take place in a fun-filled environment. Well, I'm ready, so I hope you are. Okay, so the next time that we talk, I hope it will be in the classroom. That's where I'll see you, in the classroom. On Patreon.